Look, when you live behind a perfect firewall, you ensure that no old flame can ever enter your system to hurt you again. But you also carry the weight of knowing how easily people can be erased from your life and how easily you can erase them. Welcome to Relate, conversations that explore how resilience and empathy lead to authentic and trustworthy engagements. From the complexities of romance and parenting to lifelong friendships and community leadership, we're breaking down the blueprints that keep us connected. Hey, it's May. I have thoughts on a lot of things, and today we are looking at the mechanical precision of heartbreak. Yes, you heard that right. Mechanical precision. That may sound so technical, but I promise you, it's not. Today, we are talking about a pattern in my life that is both my greatest defense and one of my saddest reality at the same time. Today's episode is titled A Hard Reboot and a Cold Heart. When a romantic relationship ends, society tells us there is a standard timeline for grief. We're expected to spend months slowly untangling our lives, crying over old photographs, and wading through weeks of lingering sadness. But my system does not operate on that timeline. Don't get me wrong. When a breakup happens, I do not suppress the pain. I feel it completely. I cry. I get deeply, intensely hurt. It becomes a literal physical sensation. My chest will ache and it feels like a heavy weight pressing down on my lungs. I drown in the raw, cold, and murky sea of that heartbreak. But then the next day comes and it's like a switch flips inside of me. Suddenly, I have this completely different aura. I wake up and I think, okay, I'm good now. This intense, absolute wave of coldness washes over my emotional system. I don't look back. I don't check in. I just step away from the wreckage and I don't look at the fire again. I've spent a lot of time wondering, is that normal? How can a human heart go from a crushing physical ache one night to an absolute freezing temperature the very next morning? If you look at it from a technical perspective, because why not? I heard that's what engineers do, I suppose. But what I am executing is called a hard reboot. The moment a relationship crosses the boundary into a failed project, my compliance and engineering mindset kicks into an overdrive to protect the remaining assets, which are my mental health and my peace. Yeah, I implement an unyielding firewall. I block them on every social media site. I block them on my phone. I do not text them back. I refuse to engage in the messy, lingering post breakup conversations where people try to rehash things or even stay friends. I do not converse with my exes, period. But that's not a mic drop. To the outside world and probably to my exes, this looks incredibly cold. It looks unfeeling. But the truth is, it is a survival mechanism because I experienced the initial grief so intensely, I compressed months of slow sadness into one massive, high voltage release of pain. Once that energy is spent, the door is locked, the key is melted down, and the access permissions are permanently revoked. That's it, all done and gone. And because my internal hard drive is wiped completely clean overnight, it leaves my romantic real estate wide open. That is why it's so easy for me to get back into the dating world. My natural optimism and my deep longing to find my person take over. I am completely okay with being with someone new and stepping into a fresh relationship, sometimes within weeks. I am ready because there is zero ghost data from my past occupying my thoughts. But we have to look at the architecture of this pattern honestly. This hard reboot has its good, bad, and ugly. The good is undeniable emotional autonomy. I don't let people drag my dignity through the mud. I don't play the games of checking up on an ex's profile or wondering what they are doing. Who does that? I take full authority over my environment. When I let go completely. But the bad can get ugly because it is now a shield that carries a hidden cost. When you know you possess the ability to turn the lights off and completely erase someone from your digital and emotional matrix overnight, it changes how you view the relationship itself. You start to look at the wreckage and ask yourself, if it was that easy for me to walk away and hit delete, was it ever real? Did I actually let them all the way into my heart? Did I really mean it when I said I love them? And oh, did I really want it when I said yes to spending forever with them? If the escape hatch is always primed for an immediate cold departure, the shield might be keeping out more than just pain. It might be guarding against the deepest, messiest layers of vulnerability. True longevity, the forever foundation I am looking for, requires staying at the table when things get incredibly uncomfortable, rather than executing a flawless system locked down the moment the blueprint fractures. So, am I really wanting that forever? Or do I just want to be my strong self till I breathe my last? And that brings me to the sad truth of this episode. This pattern comes with a certain heavy loneliness. Look, when you live behind a perfect firewall, you ensure that no old flame can ever enter your system to hurt you again. But you also carry the weight of knowing how easily people can be erased from your life and how easily you can erase them. It creates a terrifying whisper in the back of your mind. If I am this good at starting over, will I ever find a connection powerful enough to make me stay? Am I moving on so fast that I'm bypassing the very lessons I need to build a permanent destination? I don't have all the answers to this yet, but I am realizing that while my hard reboot keeps me moving forward, I have to be very careful that my cold heart doesn't mistake a fast exit for true healing. I have to allow myself to sit in the quiet room of a clean slate a little longer before I write the next chapter. For our self audit this week, I want to ask those of you who move on so fast, is your quick recovery a sign of true resilience, or is it a defensive firewall keeping you from looking at the data of your past? It's okay to protect your peace with a hard reboot. Just make sure you leave enough space on the hard drive to learn the lesson. Thank you for joining me for another incredibly real topic on Relate Conversations. Go out there, practice empathy for your processing style, build resilience through healthy boundaries, and design an authentic engagement today. I'm May, and I'll talk to you next time.